Hi, I'm Dr. Melanie Carlo, and welcome back to this New Year Reset series that I'm doing. Because so many of us create resolutions only to find that by February we feel like failures because nothing really has changed. So before we do anything today, before we do breath or practice or nervous system talk, I want you to quietly name and let bubble up one New Year's resolution. The whole New Year's coming. It's the year of the fire horse. It's the time for action and movement into a rapidly changing world that we know is coming at us. Think of one that comes up that you really want to carry into 2026. Maybe not the dramatic one or, the one that feels really difficult, but the one that captures a version of you that's really trying to elevate your frequency, elevate your ability to be in the world in a way that makes a difference to you. Make it believable. Maybe it's, I want to stop pushing myself into burnout states, or I want to wait to respond before I act, or maybe I want to be more consistent about being kind before being harsh to myself or others. Or I just want to feel more like myself again. Just notice what comes up for you. And this part matters. Notice, what does your body do when you think about holding that resolution all year? What do you feel? Is it does it tighten? Does it feel unbelievable? Are you bracing? Is there a quiet voice that may be saying, "Yeah, you always say that"? So if that voice comes up when you think about this thing that you've been wanting for yourself, I want you to really hear this. Nothing went wrong. It's not that you're failing to support yourself or sabotaging. Your nervous system, the foundation that you're made up of, simply doesn't feel safe enough to really receive the change that you want to introduce, the new worldview you want for yourself. So today, instead of forcing a goal or coming up with a bunch of ways that you can take shape that you're not ready for into a body that's probably stressed, we're going to do something very different. We're going to get to the heart of why resolutions don't sink into behavior change. And most of them fail because, not because the intention is wrong, like you know what you need to do for yourself, but the body isn't in a state that's available for learning and change. Because you probably know this, behavior doesn't live in your motivation. It lives in your physiology. It lives with what happens when you open your eyes in the morning and your body's directing you in a direction to go in. And if your system wakes, or you throughout the day are finding yourself persistently, subtly stressed, or bracing, or just shut down, numb, you may notice that you overthink instead of acting. Maybe you push until you just crash. I know that one. Or you find yourself freezing. You just can't act. You can't make a decision, or you procrastinate a lot. Kind of maybe numb or disconnected from your own self at times. Know this. This isn't an issue of you need to just become more practiced. You need to become more focused. You need to have more determination. It's a protective nervous system reflex. That's what somatics looks at. Your body is either in a state of bracing, trying to move forward, trying to make change happen, pushing things, or pulling back, trying to stop overwhelm, or hovering somewhere in between, trying to conserve energy, swerving to miss things. And here's the key insight that most resolutions miss. A nervous system in protection mode cannot metabolize your intention. It can't bring it in and make it visceral and felt. So instead of asking yourself, how do I try harder this year? What do I need to do? The more accurate question is, what state can my body be in for this resolution to actually land inside of me? Because real change doesn't happen by pushing information, more and more information into the body. I'm a head type, I really know that. It happens when the body softens and becomes receptive enough to receive the information it's getting. So think about it this way. You wouldn't take a seed and try to plant it into frozen ground and then blame the seed if it doesn't grow. But every January, or when we make these New Year's resolutions or try to take on big changes in our life, we do exactly that with ourselves. And a somatic reset that I want to show you today, it doesn't make a change happen. It simply creates the internal state, the softness of the ground, where your body can receive that seed and say, I'm here. The nourishment's available for that. I'm safe. I can participate in this. It's a state where your intentions stop feeling like pressure from the outside, like resolutions stop triggering your resistance. Behavior change becomes relational inside of you. You're in relationship to it instead of forcing it. So before we revisit this resolution process, I want to help your nervous system shift into a more receptive physiological state, not to fix you, not to hypnotize you, but to give you a practice that you can bring into your own system to soften enough to listen. So, first get clear about what that intention is that you would bring into the world and just write it down. Make it simple, make it believable, but something that you have to stretch for. But when you listen inside, know that it's credible, it's something you can do. And now we want to create a state that allows change to sink in. So you can do this sitting, standing, lying down, doesn't matter. There's nothing to actually perform here. So I want you to feel your seat. Take a slow inhale through the nose, exhale gently through the mouth. Feel your sit bones drop down as you breathe in and breathe out. If you're comfortable to leave your mouth closed, that's another really great state for the body. And just feel gravity supporting you, the chair holding you up. And on your next exhale, imagine the tailbone softening downward. And when you're ready on this inhale or the next one, as you inhale, feel the crown of the head gently lifting. So crown of head lifting up, exhale, tailbone going down. Don't force it. Just allow the length in your body to be a felt sense. And then let the breath move around into the back of your ribs. Breathing in and out, feel the back ribs expand with the in-breath. And with the out-breath sinking down, no effort, just relax. Soften your throat. Let the tongue rest behind your teeth, unclench your jaw. And already you're giving the body a message. I don't have to brace right now. And now, without moving your head, let your eyes gently look upward. Let them float up. Hold them to a point looking above your eyebrow, a second or two, and then very slowly close your eyes. Don't worry about forcing your eyelids together. Just let your eyelids close. This is simply gently softening the body so your internal system comes online. Now, with the eyes closed, looking up, imagine a leaf slowly falling, drifting, turning. And as you watch it fall, return to that resolution you named at the beginning that you wrote down. Not the big one, the believable one. As that leaf falls, repeat that one simple phrase that your body can agree with, that's believable. Feel it. Let that phrase fall into your body. I pause before I push, maybe. I can be kind to myself while I grow. Not a demand, a possibility. And again, breathing in, let the eyes go up, up, up. Look beyond the brows, close softly. And then very gently let the leaf fall behind your closed eyes as you reframe the phrase that you give yourself of your resolution. Repeat this for 3 or 4 slow leaf descents, allowing your intention to move from an idea into embodied learning. And on the last one now, let the leaf just settle. Take one slow breath and bring your one finger between your eyebrows and one at your navel, and draw pressure in and up, connecting the center line. Feel your feet. Feel as if you've anchored that phrase into your being. Open your eyes, look around gently. 3 things you can see, just name them. Back into present moment awareness, and that's it. You didn't force change. You created the conditions, the brainwave state that allows real behavior change to happen. Because this is a practice that gently shifts the nervous system from the high beta brainwave state where there's a lot of effort, there's vigilance, we can feel pressure there, towards an alpha and theta state where there's receptive learning and integration, where you embody. You're not trying to change. You're letting the body receive new information without resistance, and you bring this believable resolution into it. So this is why resolution that's anchored after a state shift lasts. It's not imposed on the nervous system. You're welcoming it through your nervous system. So, if you take nothing else from this video, let it be this. You don't need stronger resolutions. You need safer internal conditions, because we don't change ourselves by pushing harder. It just doesn't work, does it? You can't flagellate yourself into big behavior change. You change yourself slowly by kindness and by shifting the state you live from. Soften before you strive. Regulate before you renovate, because your body knows how to grow, but it has to feel safe enough to try it. So if this shifted something in you, even gently, subtly, your nervous system's actually learning in real time, and it's like moving a muscle. It's strengthening by practice. And you don't have to do this alone. As a matter of fact, it's an awful lot better if you don't. If you want more tools like this and practices that help build change from a sense of safety instead of external pressure, please subscribe to this channel. That's really what I'm tuning into. When you subscribe, it tells not just your body, but it also brings into the field of this virtual reality we have that this kind of learning matters. And you can also help this work reach people who need it by liking it. Share it with someone who's been pushing too hard. And leave a comment below. I'd love to hear, what resolutions are you working on this year? What did your body notice during the practice? I read those comments, not to fix or correct, but to stay in relationship with this community, and I really appreciate it. So thanks for being here. Thank you for listening to your body. The whole field benefits when you're finding your own center. And thank you for choosing growth that doesn't require you to check out on yourself. I'll see you in the next reset.